What is going on, guys? It is Minmaxer Overlord, and today, as promised, I bring you the Vampyre. So, I'm actually very tired of recording this same video over and over again. For some reason, my phone is being very stupid and decides to turn off while at the end of the video. So, being the very angry person I am right now, this is gonna be a speedster. Just going over. We're gonna skip the base features if we can, and go to some of the best features and how you would use some of those best features. So we're just gonna skip right along a lot of the features. I say features a lot. So one of the best features, starting out with low level, would have to be Vampiric Grip. This is basically done because you have advantage on um, grapple checks when made with a medium size or smaller. Because since you are a vampire, you are going to be drinking blood a lot, and to do that, you need to grapple a creature, and vampiric grip is one of the perfect ways of doing that. Moving on, we also get mist form. You do get three forms: bat, mist, and wolf. Mist form is by far my favorite because you are literally immune to all non-magical damage. I mean, at seventh level, how many magical beings are you fighting? Probably like one or two a campaign. Most of it's like just steal mundane, whatever you want to call it, weapons. But you can also pass through basically anything with a crack in it, and it lasts for a minute until you fall unconscious or dismiss it as a bonus action. Next would have to be cloak wings because these wings give you an edge on the playing field when you run, then fly, then turn into a bat, then fly again. Things like that. Next would have to be transformation improvement, but we're looking at the wolf form this time because the wolf form you only get to turn into a dire wolf for about an hour. But the wolf form that gets increased is that the wolf form is twice as enlarged as the regular one, and the land speed is now 70 feet. And you can make a running long jump at 30 feet. This is basically good for getting over those ridiculously long ravines that your DM likes to have you puzzle out, but this time you can just jump right over it. Next would have to be the Unholy Resonance. Unholy Resonance. Because whenever you kill a creature, you get to raise it from the dead, and it retains everything it knew in life. Which means you can kill basically just about anything if your scores are high enough, and have those legendary actions if there is a creature with a CR 11. Uh, what I mean. Next would be Drink Dry, although it is at a earlier level. The Whenever you successfully grapple a creature, it takes 3d10 necrotic damage, and you gain hit points equal to the amount of damage dealt. And if you think that was always cool, whenever it dies, it is raised from the dead as a servant with all of its stats and treated as undead. That is cool because unlike Unholy Resonance, they're basically the same thing, but this time there is no limit on what the CR is to raise the creature, which literally means ancient gold dragons for days whenever you get the last hit. And at last but not least is Prince of Darkness. Now, Prince of Darkness is one of my favorite abilities when I was DMing because it actually had the character I was DMing. His name was Rifkin, a vampire. As soon as I said, okay, guys, you guys defeated the ancient red dragon, you stole its treasure, let's count up the XP. He actually maxed out with XP. It took months and months of questing and doing a bunch of menial things, but he finally got 20th level, and it was well deserved. And what he did was that he looked at the class beforehand, and I said, yes, you can use the Eternal Immortal um, feature, but so while he was questing, oops, he would always um what's it called? Use the drink dry ability to use it on like lesser creatures because the eternally immortal requires a sacrifice. Well, maybe let's just do it. Let's see what it does first. When you are dead, when you're killed but aren't by radiant damage, you can creatures can perform 1 hour ritual to bring you back to life. The ritual is a blood sacrifice of 5 CR for higher creatures. Um, so basically, what Rifkin did is that he kept killing a bunch of CR4 creatures with the drink dry ability and made himself a little tiny cult so that anytime he died, his creatures would perform said ritual to bring him back to life. And then, although he only used it about once because um, he wanted to see if it would really work or not. But yeah, Rifkin is pretty unkillable unless a god comes down and smites him. But yeah, Eternally Immortal is one of my favorites because of this coming back to life feat. What time are we at? 5 minutes. Cool. Um, the vampiric archetypes we obtain Night Stalker and the Vampire Slayer. Night Stalkers are basically about being the classical vampire with versatility in strength and stealth. Won't go over them, so I might just show a picture. And vampire slayers are mostly about destroying their own kin using their vampiric darkness powers of doing some good. Again, I won't show the picture. Just tell you some. I mean, I won't show you the features. Just show you a couple of pictures because I hate reading. But yeah, the one feature you do get is Knight of the Light, which is at 20th level, which allows you to deal +10 radiant damage to all undead creatures, and turn regular water into holy water. And your roll. We're finally on your roll, so we're just gonna talk a little bit. Um, I don't have the best narrator voice, so if you fall asleep on while I'm narrating, that is totally okay, because I'm not the best at talking, but I do it for you guys. So when I was DMing the what was it called again? Rise of the Dragon Lord, I believe. It was a. This isn't a real campaign. This is a campaign I made up for my players. It was called Rise of the Dragon Lord, and there was a dragon, a dragonborn, who wanted to prove himself to one of his ancestors of being the strongest of all dragonborn. So he went around killing and murdering every dragonborn he saw in sight, and it was up to our heroes to stop him. One of which contained Rifkin, a vampire. He actually did not succeed in destroying the Dragon Lord. One of the other characters did. But I will tell you what Rifkin did on the campaign. So we started at level 1, as always, but quickly went to level 3 because it is so easy. But what he did was that he would always rush into battle. I said don't do that, especially since you're playing a very um, weak to strong character, because you will get hit a lot. And he just didn't seem to care. I didn't know this, but he actually has a way with the dice. He knew how to get high rolls whenever he needed them. I don't know how, but he did. He did what he had to do. So basically, what he did in combat was that he would run, hit something, and instantly just get out of the way because his dexterity was very high. And with at low level, creatures that with low pluses to their attack cannot even hit a vampire. And um, whenever it was daytime, he would actually have a gigantic cloak and an umbrella to oh not no not a cloak. He had a what is it called? A parasol, a male parasol, I guess, to block him from the sun's light, so that he can um, roam around in the sunlight without having harmful effects. But when night came, he would actually find um, like victims to drink their blood, and he actually made use of the vampire curse feat because it only says you have to drink once a week, and that's exactly what he did. He only drank a couple of ounces of blood a week in order to sustain himself. So kudos for that. Because once you start drinking blood out of every single town over and over again, people are gonna catch on. They are. But as back to combat, as soon as he reached 10th level and he got the what is it? Is it 10th level? No, it's 11th level. The wolf form. He went around biting off everything he can see in sight because he was a dire wolf. He made use of basically everything to his disposal. And when he got to the transformation improvement at 14th level, when he was a gigantic wolf, he kept ramming over anything he saw and then running away from everything because he had a base land speed of 70 feet. He could run from anything. And then at 15th level, he made use of the drink dry ability because, as I said, he looked in the class first and then decided to play it. He used drink dry to he basically used the minimum requirements for the 20th level feature Eternal Immortal. By doing that, he was able to bring himself back to life after killing himself, and he made himself a tiny little cult that worshipped him as the greatest thing to ever walk the earth, basically. And yeah, he not much to say about Rifkin because he didn't really have much character development because he just said I wanted to play a vampire, and I was like, okay, play a vampire. So his character development was actually pretty slow. He just wanted to see everything he could do and what he can get away with. But if you were playing a vampire, let me know in the comment section below. And yeah, to use the maximum out of this feature would have to be use your blood points as much as you can if fresh blood is around because drinking blood is probably the easiest thing you can do because when you do drink blood you do gain blood points back. So if you have a healthy line of blood around, use as much blood points as you can to deal as much damage as you can and then get it all back for free. I'm the Min-Maxer Overlord, and next time I will bring you a uncompleted class this time. It is called the Vampire Knight, the sequel to the Vampire. A um a knight who has learned to serve his uh his vampiric ancestors, using their power for chaos, death, and necromancy. If you like this video, make sure you hit the thumbs up and subscribe and tell me how I can do better or how I can get a better narrating voice because I do not have one. And I will see all you guys on the next video.